Good day, everybody. So I'm going to title this video "The Left's War on Affordable Housing." So if we look at California, Portland, Seattle, New York, basically any large, hard left big city, and you look at costs of living, costs of housing, you will see a radical difference in those costs in terms of left versus right, conservative versus quote unquote progressive. So you hear the left, the progressive, talking about a $15 an hour minimum wage. If that minimum wage, in a lot of places in California, it has been instituted, but you still can't live there. In San Francisco, a small 1,200 square foot home could cost over $1 million easily. So then you have to look at this question. Why? Well, it's pretty simple. It's legislation. It is rules. It is government interference that makes housing so expensive. So if you look at poor people who do not make a lot of money, so for instance, a person who works at Walmart, and please, I am not degrading a person who works at Walmart. Walmart just happens to be one of the largest employers in the United States, but pays a very low wage. And Walmart then takes advantage of its government subsidizing that low wage in many cases, which I believe is wrong. And I think the only way to defeat that is to have people, A, either stop shopping at Walmart and people quit working at Walmart. And that's not easy. I get that. But it's where we're at. But a person working in Walmart, trying to live in, say, San Jose, San Francisco, Los Angeles, you're probably going to be living in a very small apartment with multiple people. And this is in California. This is in a leftist ruled state that has enacted minimum wage rules. So again, in California, working at Walmart, your quality of life is going to consist of working to make enough to live in a very small little prefab box, basically. Horrible. Horrible, horrible. But hey, you can go to the beach. So let's move over to, and I know I used this state before, but I'm just going to use it again. So let's cruise over to Missouri. Let's go someplace like say Lebanon, Missouri. Okay, so you work at Walmart in Lebanon, Missouri. You're going to be paying much less a month to live in an apartment. That apartment is going to be much bigger. And on Walmart Pay in Lebanon, Missouri, you're going to be able to live in that apartment by yourself. You're also, if you save some money, could buy an acre of land for a few $1,000s, or probably even a little less than that in some cases. And then you could put a mobile home on that land. So poor looks different in these right-leaning states. Poor in some of these right-leaning states means you have a couple of acres of land, you've decided to put a prefab house, or maybe you built your own house, or you put a mobile home on that land, and you are able to grow your own food, but you have space, and you can live comfortably. And you can do that here. But you can't do that if you go here. They will not let you do that. So that's why you see many more people, one, living on the streets, and then two, because of rules, because of legislation, because of restrictions, the capitalist system cannot work here. It does not allow the expansion of housing, thus drives up the cost of housing to something that just simply cannot be afforded. And you can't say it's supply versus demand. You can't. Yes, more people live here in California than in the Midwest, but there's still a lot of land. But a lot of that land can't be used now. At a certain point, as human population continues to expand and there becomes more and more humans, you have to expand outwards into some of these areas where you did not allow the building of housing. You're going to have to. Or you're going to get these areas that are just, I mean, right out of Blade Runner, with millions of people living on top of each other, just barely surviving. But that's the left's idea of progress. Because those persons making those rules, right, are living in much better conditions than the persons not making those rules, but have brainwashed those persons who aren't making those rules into supporting them. So you will never be able to afford a home in San Francisco. Ever. Never. Millions of dollars in some cases. Millions and millions. And it's not that big. It's insanity. Yet it's accepted. And anywhere you go in these leftist cities or some of these leftist states, the cost of living is going through the roof in terms of housing. And it's restrictions. It's based on restrictions.